This is False Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for Fansided. I'm joined today by a man who does not believe the best time to wear glorified pajamas is to an elementary school birthday sleepover or to do wrestling in high school. It's about going to the combine. Cody Williams, content director, fansided.com, crotch chopping his way metaphorically through Indianapolis here on this glorious Sunday. How are you?
I always say you really see a man's character when you put him in spandex. Like that's just a life motto to live by. I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I mean, I'm about to go to Germany here in a month or so, so I'm getting really used to just, sausage and glorified casing. So it's going to be great.
It's very similar. I'm not gonna say anything. There's a lot of bratwurst.
Yeah, a lot of bratwurst, a lot of vice versa, which is the white ones that you can actually eat the casing because it's like, what's it like eating the skin of an avocado? You can't do that, man.
I don't know. Will Levis has probably tried it.
I'm sure he has. Apparently, he never threw for 3,000 yards at UK, which is shocking.
It's both shocking and not shocking at the same time.
The last quarterback to throw for 3,000, I think, is Brian Hartline's kid brother, Mike Hartline.
Wow, that's been a minute.
Yeah, because Drew Holbrook was writing that thing for WBN, Wildcat Blue Nation. He's like, "Yeah, it's been a minute." I'm like, "I think Minchie might get 3,000." Like, don't you put that in my mouth, dude.
We don't speak of that. Damn it.
We don't speak of that, but we do speak of this before we begin. Be sure to give this thing a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Really helps the show grow. You can pay us on Buzzsprout.
That's right. Yeah, always drop the money on Buzzsprout, baby.
Drop the money on Buzzsprout. Give me a banana. Just says, you know what, Bueller, you need a banana.
His
Or
potassium's low. He's cramping.
yeah, I'm cramping. Have you ever cramped on one of these shows before?
Oh God, yeah, dude, I get the worst foot cramps all the time. Like I'll like move my toe in a certain way, and like my entire foot just starts like seizing up. So if you ever see me just like start like leaning down one side, I'm like trying to work out a foot cramp.
I'll save that for the end of the show with some LSR. But yeah, let's get rolling here. The combine is happening. We've obviously false started. Our first and 15 today is going to be a slice of pumpkin pie. The Indianapolis Combine, that's not what it's called. The NFL Scouting Combine up in Indianapolis just wrapped up today with the line meet moving, and it was glorious. Look, I know you're more tied into the NFL of it all than I am. I'm kind of more of the college beat here, but this is always an opportunity for people to be, to really benefit and to also hurt themselves at the combine. So, any major standouts that you think this event really helped out?
Yeah, I mean, this was a fun combine because there was a lot of dudes just doing freakish stuff. But I do want to start. I think the biggest news coming out of it was Rueben Bain Jr.
Yes.
and his arms being historically short, tied for the fourth shortest arms among edge rushers since 1999. Like, it's not just short; it's historically short. Like, I think that's
Yeah.
a very key like modifier to have in there. Here's the thing. I don't care.
I mean, there.
Ruben Bain Jr. is really good at football. I've long said this about the combine, and like you'll see that when I go through some of the other people I'm going to talk about here. But like the combine is not the entire picture. You should never base anything off a guy's 40 time, off of what he's doing at the combine or anything like that. It's a piece of the puzzle, not the entire picture. And with Ruben Bain, the rest of the picture says his short arms do not matter. It doesn't matter what level of competition. He was a damn dominant football player off the edge. And when you start to dive more into the film, his short arms are actually not like, don't really come into play much. Like his speed and his burst off the edge is how he normally gets the advantage. If he doesn't and he gets caught by a tackle, he's a big chop guy. You know what you don't need to do a chop? Long arms. You know what I would rather actually have? A big beefy MFer right there to just come down and chop off an lineman's hand. Like that's what I'm looking for in there. And that's what Ruben Bain does so well. So like yes, he has T-Rex arms. I'm not worried about it.
I saw this clip out there. I know you're going to go with Ruben Bain. That's where my head should have been at right now, but obviously doing after a nice glorious day here in Atlanta with the Arizona State podcast out there. It was spring and spring is sprung. We'll touch on that later, but
100%. I went on a hike this morning. So like, yeah,
hell
we're
yeah.
we're living the dream.
Yeah, we had brunch and we planned some Germany stuff here. I saw this thing where it's like two cartoon T-Rexes trying to hug each other. One's named Will Campbell and one's named Ruben Bain Jr. It's like I'm trying. They're trying, Jennifer. They can't do it.
They're doing their best, man.
Look, it doesn't like they said another guy who had historically short arms was Melvin Ingram out of South Carolina. He had a great career with the Chargers.
Mhm.
And if Ruben Bain's like, I think Melvin Ingram wasn't a first round pick if he was barely, but like, I mean, where you were taking Bain or potentially if he's Melvin Ingram, like that's worth it, man.
Especially in this draft class. Like we mentioned, it's a weak draft class. And like
Yeah.
if you're getting a player who's going to be in the league for 15 years, like I think you're doing all right.
Yeah, some of these measurables, like Joe Burrow's got these tiny hands. That doesn't matter. Kyler Murray is short. He was still a Pro Bowl player in his prime before they realized he's not a team player.
Except on COD, he's there for the
Yeah,
squad.
yeah, I mean he's straight killing that's what it's about. But that's kind of concerning. Like Ruben Bain, you had him going number two to the Jets because you're the Jets. You need somebody who's going to change the game. If this knocks him back, he's just going to go to the Chiefs at nine. And
Yeah.
then like we're going to be sitting here like, why is Ruben Bain Jr. playing opposite of George Karlaftis and why are the Chiefs 14-3 again? Because of
Yeah,
dumb stuff like this.
100%, man. And like, I truly don't think he's going to drop that far. Like, I think the one thing I'm going to do in my post combine mock draft, which will come out on Monday on Fansided, but like the one thing I might swap him and Arvell Reese back.
Yeah.
Like, have Arvell Reese go two to the Jets, which I still think is a really good pick, and then have Ruben Bain go three to potentially the Cardinals or someone trading up with the Cardinals, which I think is probably the better avenue for the Cardinals.
Yeah, if the Titans got him, like they're not going to pass
Yeah.
up on him, I don't think. Then again, they're the Titans. They'll do anything.
100%. Gonna move on to two guys who I think still fall in the category of like, I really like the tape, I really like the football player, and they also happen to just dominate the combine. Sonny Styles, linebacker out of Ohio State, and Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon. Um, these dudes are freaky, man. Okay, here is Sonny Styles' combine at 6'5", 244 pounds. Mind you, at 6'5", 244 pounds. 2 years ago, this guy was playing safety for the Buckeyes, which is dumb. But when you hear how athletic he is, it makes more sense. 4.46 40-yard dash, a 1.5 second 10-yard split, vertical jump of 43 and a half inches, a broad jump of 11.2, and a three cone of 7.09. My God, dude's a freak. And I already had Sonny Styles as likely a top 10 pick. I think he could be a top five pick. If the Giants took him at five, it would not shock me in the slightest.
Ooh, Styles, things are gonna get easier. Yes,
Uh,
it's getting
speaking
easier.
of, I actually saved this for the podcast to tell you. No spoilers here. Not only is Sonny Styles in the draft, but Lorenzo Styles Jr., his brother, is also in the draft and actually ran the fastest 40 at the combine.
Hell yeah, Lonnie Styles. That's great. I love that. I didn't know you had a brother. That's amazing. Lorenzo Jr. and Sonny. That is a the car trips in that family must have been insane.
It's unbelievable. Apparently, Sonny is also a nickname. He's nicknamed after Sonny Corleone.
Okay. I'm
Basically, what I'm saying is I want to hang out with the Styles family.
I mean, how many people do you know in your sphere named Sonny? I knew like two. Okay. Sonny Dykes' real name is Daniel. So that's one. And
Yeah.
the other guy's name was guy I used to work with my dad. His name was Sonny Austin, but his name was actually Stephen F. Austin, so it was really awkward. Yeah, just a perpetually single guy, went to Johnny's Hideaway a lot. That's what he was about. Anyway, really happy for Sonny Styles. And you mentioned Sadiq. Kenyon
Oh, yeah.
Sadiq, doing good.
Sadiq, okay. Also coming in 6'3", 241 pounds, freak of a human. 4.39 in the 40-yard dash, 43 and a half vertical jump, 11'1" broad jump. Sadiq, when I hadn't thought about this. I'm into the draft. I do a lot of scouting. I like get into this stuff really big time. One thing I'm god awful at is player comps. I can't do them. I'm not good at them, and I don't really try to unless I'm asked to, in which case I'll do the best I can. Lance Zierlein of NFL.com compared Kenyon Sadiq to Trey McBride, and that's a really, really, really good comparison. He's just an athletic freak who I don't think entirely knows how to play tight end right now, but he's so freaky and so talented and has enough innate skill as a pass catcher and an athlete that he can be passable right now and could end up being one of the best tight ends in the NFL.
So anonymously good. So what's the most anonymous team you could go to and kick ass like Trey McBride?
God, it would be the Chargers. The Chargers like taking
Yeah,
him at like 22 for sure.
that would be dope. I got three guys here. Two on Georgia and one that's going to help us transition to our next topic.
Hell yeah, brother.
On the bad news, I'll start with that first. Oscar Delp couldn't do much at the combine, and that really hurt him because this is the tight end at Georgia. This is probably the most talented tight end Georgia's had since Brock Bowers, if you will. And
Mhm.
he's like, I'm more of a, he's like, more of a blocker, but like he could do everything.
Yeah.
He played through a hairline fracture in his foot all last year. Didn't know it, so a random X-ray picked it up, so he couldn't do it. And for liability reasons, he'll play at the combine. But like this is a guy who's everywhere between like a fourth and sixth round pick. And I'm just like, he's the guy that just like he's gonna go to the Ravens kind of a
Mhm.
vibe.
Oh yeah,
But
100%.
like if the medicals aren't good there, that could, knock him back a little bit. I want to see him tap into all of his potential, interviewed well, and I'm just like, this just sucks.
No, it definitely sucks. And like I think he's gonna be like a fine player. I don't think Oscar Delp is ever going to be like what we thought when he like, first got his opportunity replacing Brock Bowers at Georgia, where we are like, oh, this is Brock Bowers 2.0. And like I think he's physically talented enough to do that, but that doesn't seem like the type of player that he is.
I wasn't gonna mention him, but like another guy that's kind of in this vein, Jerome McCoy, like not being able to
Hmm.
do anything.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's a red flag. I don't think he's a first round pick. It's the talent there. I think the medicals are just absolute shit. And at that point, like
Yeah.
you can't. I mean, the Rams could maybe take him with the Falcons pick, but like you're better off taking Avion Terrell.
No, 100%. I'm definitely gonna have him knocked down in this class. One guy I want to mention, I'll let you wrap this up. Uh, Arkansas quarterback Taylor Green.
Oh yeah.
He needs to be a wide receiver. And this isn't like a Lamar Jackson situation. I've watched Taylor Green play a good amount of quarterback. He can't throw the football. But he did run a 4.36 40-yard dash with a 43 and a half vertical at 6'6", 227. Um, Go be a wide receiver, brother. Like you'll have a good time, I promise.
That was the highlight of Nick Rum's weekend. He was just like going going nut on the in the Slack channel about that. So a guy who really helped himself, that would be Monroe Freeling.
Mhm.
Just
Oh God, dude. Absolute man meat right there.
people were saying like, it was so on the fence with him coming back. He got a really good offer to stay at Georgia, but he's like weak offensive tackle class. I think he blew everybody else out of the water. Like there's like a non-zero chance after this and potentially the pro day, he may be the first offensive tackle taken, which I'm like behind Mawagoa and Fano. I'm like, I don't get there, but like this is a guy that we've seen kind of going like to Houston to 24. He might be going 17 to Detroit or higher.
You're not wrong 100%. And I would have a hard time saying ahead of Maui Goa just because I think Francis Maui
Yeah.
Goa is like that good. And like they're completely different builds of human being. Like Maui Goa is just a monster, dude. Like it's just a large human being. And not to say Freeling isn't, and Freeling's also a freak athlete, but like Maui Goa is just bigger.
Yeah.
But Fano's arms came in way short. And I worry with Fano, not necessarily as a player, but I worry he's going to suffer from the Will Campbell of it all and like be someone who slips down the draft board just because they got scared by short arms.
Be too bad. And the guy, I don't know if he's going to go in the first round, but he inspired this next segment here. That would be Iowa lineman Jennings Dunker. Just, oh my God. Just I had a high school friend, a fraternity brother, nicknamed Big Red, just running like that.
Dude,
Just
what a guy.
one of just the way the camera was positioned, it was on his thigh. I thought it was like somebody getting stabbed, like a tattoo, somebody getting stabbed on his thigh. And he's just booking it, just glorious. Probably gonna be like a day two pick.
Yeah, most likely. But I
Yeah.
mean, I like him a lot. I think he can play. I think you can try him at tackle. He's probably better as a guard. But just a dude, and like I think he's a dude who just likes playing football and
Yeah.
likes playing in the trenches. Like I watched some of his interview like with the media, and the first question was, what's something people might not know about you? And he goes, that I know the game of football. He goes, I know people look at me and they're like, oh, he's a meathead, always got a mullet, and he doesn't know football. He goes, no, I know a lot about this game.
Is that a Danny Campbell's dad?
Maybe 100%. It's entirely possible.
But he gives the same, it touches the exact same thing I felt about Cody Mott coming out of North Dakota State,
Yes.
Quinn Miners coming out of Wisconsin to Whitewater. The
Mhm.
same sort of mid-round, like this guy's going to be a really high-end player there for 10 years, the middle of your offensive line. And whoever he goes to, it's going to work out tremendously.
Yeah, it's at no point will it be spectacular, but it'll get the job done at above average level for a long time.
Yeah, you're going to get like near Chris Lindstrom production at this without a first-round pick.
Yeah, 100%. It's what you want for sure.
And it's what you want. And on that note, let's move on to the next topic here. Inspired by Jennings Dunker. Let's use some good bull. We need to fill out the show. This is the second one. We're gonna mullet some dudes, Brahim. We're gonna put some mullets on dudes. Just people that in the college football world that we think would look absolutely epic with the mullet in the 2026-27 season. You go first. Who do you got?
I'm starting off with a heater. Imagine Arch Manning with Quinn Ewers' mullet.
Yes.
That's what I want to see. I want to see the Quinn Ewers mullet on Arch Manning.
Um, Uncle Peyton would just die on the spot. He's just like, this is like you're not related to me. Like this is so anti-establishment. We can't possibly do this. But I want to see him. I want to see him with some nasty ass like Danny McBride, like
Yeah.
curl blonde mullet. Like I want him to look like he looks like I want him to look like he fights a Cobra Kai.
100%. He fights in Cobra Kai and then sells cigarettes to kids.
I love that. I know you were probably going to go there. I'm going to go with the guy who may already have one or it's very close. Give me Brendan Sorsby, the new Texas Tech quarterback.
There we go.
I
Yeah.
I feel like he let the Alabama waterfall flow out of the back of like a, you with the headband and a visor. I just feel like it's
Mm.
the vibe. It seems like it's very effortless for him. And if Texas Tech has a season that we think they might have, this guy's potentially going to be a first round pick.
Give me a little business in the front, on front of the headband. We'll be cooking, man. That's what I want to see. That'd be good.
Yeah, I know he needs to have like with like a fade too, like a cross earring. Where do you get one of those T necklaces across from where?
Dude, the Barry Bonds like dangling cross earring, that looks sick.
Oh man, that would be tough. Who else would look awesome with the mullet?
So I have two coaches and then two coaches and then two media personalities that I wanted to throw in here. My two coaches are Josh Heupel and James Franklin. Uh, Josh Heupel, I just imagine the Letterman's jacket with the mullet, and I'm like, yeah, you need to sit out in your Trans Am like after the games outside of Neyland. And then James Franklin, I just like I tried to think of which bald coach would look the funniest with a mullet, and I definitely landed on James Franklin. He would look hilarious because it doesn't fit someone's personality worse than it does James Franklin.
He's got one of those like those cube mullets from NWA.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. It really helped bring Virginia Tech and Blacksburg together, I
That's
guess.
what I'm saying, man.
It's just flopping in the wind back there to I almost swore really bad there to like Stan Man and stuff.
That's right.
Then Heupel, I mean, like, give me the thinnest ass mullet I've ever seen.
Oh, like when I imagine Josh Heupel's mullet, it's for sure like the guy at a bar in like a movie that like peaked in high school. That's what Josh Heupel's mullet looks like.
It's like if Dwayne Allman survived the crash. I mean,
Correct.
he did a lot at 24 years old, and apparently Josh Heupel did a lot before he turned 24 too.
That's right. 100%.
Oh man, that'd be amazing. I got another guy who plays in the Big Ten wide receiver. Give me Charlie Becker with a mullet, dude.
He
Just
needs it.
just flown out of the bag. I mean, I feel like Indiana needs they kind of need to turn heel a little bit. Like they need to be kind of like a bunch of dicks. Like just because Fernando is so nice. Josh Hoover needs to kind of be like, coming into practice with a shiner. Becker is like, we're just out there. He's like, Charlie Becker just turned his heels like, yes, sir. To like, whatever, man.
Whatever, man. No, that'd be sick. And I think it would very much carry the vibes. Kurt Signetti would hate it and would probably vocally say so. It'd be great.
Yeah, he'd be like the band from Jacksonville who went to high school and the PE coach Leonard Skinner did not like that and he's like I'm Gary Rossi I'm going to force you to drop out because you won't cut your hair.
That's right. Oh God.
That's
Hey, we either get a good wide receiver or we get good music. Well, either way, we're winning.
and this bird will never change. Who you got for your media personalities?
So first one, prepare yourself. Imagine Ari Wasserman with a mullet. And I'm talking like I'm thinking like Gen Z type mullet, like super
Mhm.
like shithead troll type of mullet because like if you listen to Ari more than like just read him on Twitter, like you understand that he's a smart guy and likes messing with people. If you don't, you think he's just a troll, essentially.
I mean, I saw him like at the South Carolina Virginia Tech game. He was eating. I wasn't going to bother him,
Yeah.
but I could see that. I could see.
And then the other one, which is I think is something that honestly needs to happen. AJ Hawk just not saying a word, but he like grows a mullet subtly throughout the course of a Pat McAfee show season would be incredible.
He's not far off. Doesn't he kind of have like a skeleton a little bit?
He's
But
got like
like,
it's just like kind of slicked back though. Like he doesn't really grow it out in the front, and like I need a little bushiness right here. Like I just need it to like progressively just get a little more like right there.
I'm gonna think of this on the spot. I'm gonna think of a coach because Gundy is you know, not doing
R.I.P.
this anymore. Yeah, RIP. He's still alive. That's fine. Um, you know what? I think it would be hilarious to see a Jed Fish with a mullet just being rained on. He looks like
In the
looks like
visor.
he looks like Brandon Marsh of the Phillies, just wet. Shout out Buford High School. Actually not, but yeah, go ahead.
God, Brandon Marsh is one of my least favorite athletes. Like I just can't stand it. It's
Uh,
not even an NL East thing. Like it's just like he annoys me.
Miss Joe has probably thoughts on Brandon Marsh. He's not quite on the level of Kelly Olynyk and Isaiah Thomas. Those are the two people she cannot stand.
I saw a video at the start of spring training, and it was just Brandon Marsh like pre-wetting his hair before a game, and I was like, "This is the dumbest. Why does this video exist? Like, just in my life, I'm done with it."
I mean, could you imagine if we had a video of like Turk Wendell like chewing licorice and then brushing his teeth like every inning? Like that's what we need, man. Doesn't want,
100%.
doesn't want the stains. He's like, I want to look like I chew tobacco, but I don't want to. Lenny Dykstra is insane.
Got to look cool for the guys.
Do you think how good of a quarterback do you think Lenny Dykstra would have been? I think he would have been like Heisman finalist guy.
Feel like he would have been like Diego Pavia. A very
Yeah,
good college quarterback, but a little rough around the edges.
which I think what program in the 80s would have been like absolutely perfect for him.
Oklahoma.
Like,
Oklahoma.
yeah.
The answer is Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, Oklahoma, Nebraska. He's the
SMU pre-death penalty. Like, yeah.
like imagine he's running the point instead of Lance McElhenney. Yes. And on that note, we missed our mark. Let's move on to our third topic of the day: the five best and five worst head coaches in the Big 12. Part four of the series. It's great. I mean, we've really did some digging here, so this is great. We're going to
100%.
start with our top five and then our bottom five. You go first. Who's your fifth best head coach in the Big 12?
I went Lance Leipold. And I understand.
As did I. Yes.
Nice, nice. Okay. And like, I understand Kansas has not like replicated the 9-win success that they had a couple years ago. I'm well aware of that. You know what they have done though? They've consistently been like in reach of bowl games. You know what they weren't from Mark Mangino to this point? That. And
Yes.
Lance Leipold has them consistently at that level. And like he's never going to get the nationwide recognition as being like, an elite head coach, but he's doing a damn good job at Kansas.
You took the words right out of my mouth there. Between him and Mangino, it was a lot of David Beatty, Turner Gill, Charlie Weiss nonsense. Wasn't very good. He won at Buffalo. He won at Wisconsin Whitewater. I mean, Kansas like wasn't winning games. Not even Big 12 games. They weren't winning games. And
No,
like,
like I think their highest win total between Mangino and Leipold is 3.
yeah, 3 or 4 wins, something in that range. They weren't even close.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad.
If he was a little bit younger, we'd be looking at him for like another job. But obviously, I think just Jalen Daniels just needs to go. He's like, I can still play, coach. I'm like, you need to go, man.
You're too close to being my peer. You need to go somewhere else.
I know your bones are as brittle as the chicken that I'm eating. All right. So we're both at the same number five. Who do you have it for?
I've got Willie Fritz.
As do I.
Hell yeah. I think we might have the same 5. The top 3 might be in a different order, but I like Willie Fritz. I mean, I think you were dubious and I was cautiously optimistic when it came to Willie Fritz coming to Houston.
Yes.
Um, he's pretty quickly proved that he just knows how to coach football and build a program, man, because he did it at Tulane and now he's starting to do it at Houston. He's getting the right type of guys in there and taking advantage of some of Houston's resources that they have, even if they aren't the most advantageous program in the state of Texas.
Yes. Built Tulane back up to what it is now.
Yeah.
Has taken Houston basically to what Red Bull enthusiast Dana Holgerson thought he'd have. Honestly, he's kind of got Houston up to a level where like, maybe what Art Briles, Kevin Sumlin kind of had. But obviously it's in a bigger stage because you're back in like the Power Four and everything like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me if Houston like got to Arlington. I don't think that they're going to win the league because like Connor Wegman is, yeah. But I think just like how quickly he can take something that's just absolutely destroyed and turn into something beautiful within 2 years. It's very special. He's a tremendous program builder. That's why I've got it for.
Yeah, and I mean, Connor Wegman's probably not good enough to win the Big 12, but he's good enough to make you respectable, and I think Willie Fritz understood that.
100%. That was a weird tab. Apparently, I had something up from like days ago, just showing up. All right, who do you have a three?
Now I've got Joey McGuire, and like, oh, go ahead. Do you have him at three or do you have him higher?
He's my top three.
Okay. Um, I like Joey McGuire a lot. I think he has a chance to end up at number one on this list very, very shortly. Um, I think I need to see it for a little bit more sustained, which I think I have with my top two. And that's really like it's very much splitting hairs between these three because I think all three are really, really damn good coaches.
So at three, I've got Kenny Dillingham, and at two, I've got Joey McGuire.
Okay, nice. I have
Because
I have another number two. So
okay, that's perfect. Kenny Dillingham winning at Arizona State, in year two, taking them to the playoff. That's something that ASU hadn't done in like 30 years.
yeah.
He still had a really good year last year, a lot of chaos, with Sam Levitt getting hurt, losing Scatabo and everything like that. He basically has taken ASU to like a point where like they're going to win about 8 games a year
hmm
anyway. And this is his alma mater. The fact he didn't go to Michigan, they're going to build this and stay in this. Like he's going to win the Big 12 here. If Texas Tech doesn't like just run roughshod over everybody else, like they're going to win the Big 12 here pretty soon. Like they make it two teams in.
No, 100%. And I have Kenny Dillingham at number one. And I wanted to say this before I forget this comparison. You know what Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State feels like, except a little less chaotic than that? Mike Gundy at his peak at Oklahoma State,
Yes.
where a program where there is not necessarily a historical success, like there are moments, of course, as there are with most college football programs that have been around for a while, but like in terms of sustained historical success, and like you raise the floor to 7, 8 wins when it's never been that before. At points, that's been the ceiling of what this program could be. And like
Mhm.
that's where it feels Kenny Dillingham has. And I think like that's a hell of a job. And like, I think it's only up from here. And we also are building a track record of seeing him do this. Cause I mean, even if you go back to his coordinator days at Oregon, like that's the best Oregon's offense has looked since like Dan Lanning got there.
Auburn's offense hasn't been the same since
hmm
he left.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you got the alumni component there with Gundy and Dillingham. I love
Yeah.
that. So I got McGuire at two. I think the reason I've got him there is because like I think Texas Tech's going to win the Big 12 again
Mhm.
next year. I think just the program's identity is just a little bit stronger. He's been doing it a little bit longer. Granted, I mean, Joe McGuire's like in his 50s. Kenny Dillingham's like 36. Like, come on. It's so like it just this it just it's easy. It's like an easier sell in some ways. There's
Mhm.
there's no doubt with Texas Tech, with Arizona State, like a tinge, but not very much. It just
Yeah.
because like Texas Tech's all in with Cody Campbell drilling man. So
Yeah.
that's really the only difference there for me with Joe McGuire at two.
No, 100%. And like I'm 100 like I think Joey McGuire might actually be a better coach than both my one and two, but like in terms like in I agree with you, he's built this culture, but at the same time, like in terms of on-field success, we only have like 1 year of it reaching what we've seen Kenny Dillingham reach and what we've seen your number one, my number two reach, which is Kalani Sitake.
Yes, Kalani Sitake. Like, look, we don't talk about Bronco Mendenhall at BYU anymore. Like,
No, no, we talk about the school of survival.
talk about the school of survival. Also, the fact that you're what and you're 3 years. I forget that it's 3 years into the to Power Four. You had one transitional year, and then you've been top of your new league immediately. It takes a coach like him at a place like BYU to make this transition as seamless as possible. The fact that Penn State really wanted him, and then that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
It is.
Kalani Sitake's, again, he was like a top 10 level coach for us, top 12. So yeah,
Mhm.
he's at the top of the league there for me for sure.
No, 100%. And the only reason like Sataki obviously has a longer track record than Kenny Dillingham or Joey McGuire, and like as a coach, I have the utmost respect for. I think the one thing that holds me back slightly from having Sataki ahead of Dillingham, we've seen Dillingham get to a college football playoff,
Yeah.
and we have not seen that from Kalani Sitake just yet. They have a chance to do it again in 2025 or in 2026, excuse me. So like again, these rankings are subject to change, but like as of right now, like I'm gonna value the CFP appearance just a little bit more.
And I think that's where so we had the same top five in different orders. My first guy out was uh was Sonny Dykes followed by Brent Brennan. Those were probably the first two cuts I made.
Brent Brennan was my first cut. Had moderate success at San Jose State, which is a very hard thing, and then turned Arizona around after one season, which is pretty damn impressive.
And then Sonny Dykes has like that one really good year at Cal, that one good year at TCU, maybe at La Tech as well. He's good for one every so often, but
He's
he's
good for what?
he's got to stop losing his damn luggage to the airport. Now bottom five. Just to be clear here, I did not include Colin Klein or Morgan Scalley because they haven't coached yet.
I did. So we'll get there.
All right. Who is the fifth worst coach in the Big 12?
Morgan Scalley. So like I said, I did include him. I with these new coaches, like I'm not going to put them at the bottom, even if I don't like the hire, just because like I do want to see it to some degree, and like the other guys who I have below them, I've seen fail, and so like I know that they're going to fail. With Morgan Scalley, I just think the transition from Kyle Whittingham, like I think it was handled as well as it possibly could. That's still really, really damn big shoes to live into. And like
They handled it as well as they could. It still optically looked terrible.
right. And like it's just there's never going to be an easy transition plan. And I mean, it looks worse when Kyle Whittingham takes the Michigan job. It would look better if he didn't do that. But like even still, like having this transition plan in place, like I'm dubious of Morgan Scalley, especially because I think in recent years we've seen Utah's defense not be what it was 3 or 4 years ago.
100%. And you're not gonna believe who I have at five here.
I'm ready for it.
That's incoming Oklahoma State head coach, former North Texas head coach Eric Morris.
Okay, hell yeah.
I kind of think there's a chance that might have been a lightning in a bottle 1 year wonder.
It's possible.
And he beat out incoming Iowa State head coach Jimmy Rogers, who I think's had a little bit longer track record. Like he got to a bowl game at Wazoo. Nobody does that
Yeah,
particularly
and one
now.
at South Dakota State before
Yeah.
that. Like, yeah.
So I think you're kind of going in there with the same sort of mantra with like Alex Golesh going from South Florida to Auburn. Like I'm going with my kind of guys, and maybe that'll work. But maybe there's a hubris there where you think that like Oklahoma State was just dog water, and it was just still water, and I- they're going to be better because they by default they'd have to. But like there's a chance that this gets gnarly. So I'm monitoring this one pretty closely.
So I do not have Eric Morris. He probably would have been first or second off of the worst coaches. I will say like the one thing that has me having Scally and Klein, who are the only two new coaches I have on this list. The only reason I have them like ahead of Morris would be I think Drew Mestamaker is going to
Yeah.
help quite a bit and make things even like it may end up eventually being, Eric Morris isn't that good of a coach, but as long as Mestamaker's there, I think it's going to help cover up some warts a little bit there.
100%, man. I had so much lint in my pocket. It's unbelievable.
That's the weirdest feeling in the world. You're like, what the hell is in my pocket? You think you've got
Um,
something in there.
I got more wins there than I got last year.
Let's go, baby.
All right. At number four for me, I got Samurai Dave Aranda at Baylor.
Mm. He's probably my actual first off because I don't have him on this list.
I'm I still think he went with Matt Rule's players. And I
Hmm.
think that like he's just too chill to be able to be impactful. And I think in this day and age of the Big 12, you're going on like a damn land run. Like you need to go get it. And I think being timid, being cautious is how you get left in the dust. Why do you think Houston's making charge? Why is Arizona State come up? Why is BYU taking advantage? Arizona State,
Texas
Texas
Tech, like
Tech,
doing what they're doing.
Colorado, like everybody else is going for it, and you're just not quite there, and it frustrates me.
Yeah, I think like the Dave Aranda always like he frustrates me, but I also like if I'm trying to evaluate if he's a good coach or not, I think he's fine. I think he's just the most fine option possible. Not really much downside, but not really much upside either. And like, is that a place you want to be? No. Does it make you one of the five worst coaches? I'm not sure.
I mean, I want my college football head coach to be a college football head coach, and not a narrator for National Geographic.
I agree. I agree completely.
Just put me to sleep, man. Okay, who do you have? Who's next up for you? Who's four for you?
That's where I'm calling Klein. So like again, I'm trying not to be too harsh with these guys. I wasn't that impressed with Colin Klein as a coordinator, so I don't know why I would be impressed with him as a head coach. And like, I I think the biggest thing he has working in his favor is going to Kansas State. Obviously, alma mater, a place he's super familiar with and super familiar with how to succeed there. And like, those are a lot of advantages there. But I also look at him and I'm just like, do you really have the chops to be a head coach anywhere, much less like a place in the P4?
Yeah, this feels like. how do I say this? The guy we're going to talk about here first at some point, going back to your alma mater, the legend here, this kind of feels Scott Frost territory to me.
Yeah, he might be coming up here in a second.
Yeah, at number three, I got a guy who went back because who says you can't go home? Me, that's Rich Rodriguez.
I have him. I'm. Let me guess. You have Scott Frost at two.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have him flip flopped. I have Scott Frost at three and Rich Rod at two.
With Rich Rod, it's like the game's changed from what it was at West Virginia. You're not a powerhouse in the Big East anymore. You're trying to figure out what the hell happened the last decade, and both in West Virginia and in the Big 12. Just you're kind of like, I can't believe where the time goes. Just we're doing it. It's Neil Brown just is a good head coach. I think he'll have success in North Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's this was so controversial. Bring him back. I don't know how it's going to work out. I think that I would be shocked if Rich Rod coaches 2 more years after this. So like I have a feeling that he'll either be done after this year or after next year. He's not getting year four.
No, I don't think you're wrong necessarily. When it came down to Rich Rod and Scott Frost, I've seen Rich Rod at least have success in college football recently at Jacksonville State, whereas it's been a damn minute since I've seen Scott Frost have success in college football.
Scott Frost, like I got him at what, at two, I think. I'm just like, again, the game's changed. UCF's not a group of six team anymore. It's a power four. You're kind of struggling with this because you're the most isolated team in the new Big 12. Yeah, Florida's trying to make the corner. Miami's on fire, and Florida State doesn't have any money. But you go back to UCF, and I'm like, I just don't think it's gonna work. You inherited the terrible roster. Also, you did like horrible things in Nebraska. Like I think anytime, maybe this way, like there's an NFL comparison. Gus Bradley in Jacksonville. When you have like
Mm,
something like that, you can't
yeah.
like you can't like forget that, you know?
No, God no. I
No,
mean, like Urban Meyer is still paying for him. Well, it's all Jaguars coaches, but like Urban Meyer is still like I think public perception wise, like is not going to escape the Jaguar stuff anytime soon.
no. Like I'm just saying, like, oh, we're gonna give you this opportunity. We think you're ready for it. Like you are no, not even close.
No,
Not even
no. Honestly, though, there's some interesting parallels between Rich Rod and Scott Frost in terms of like the hires, like trying to go back to a former glory, but the game's changed since you were last there and had that former glory.
I mean, like it worked for Bill Snyder, but that's a different thing, man, because he built that place.
Yeah, 100%. That's with his bare hands. You know what I
We
mean?
have the same guy for number one, don't we?
He's so bad. I have Scott Satterfield at number one,
Uh, terrible.
but
Absolutely terrible. This is the guy who moves to towns every 5 years to start a new family. Just an absolute just a he's the goddamn music man. That's what he is, man. He's just stealing people's money and leaving town.
so I couldn't believe when I looked at this. I was like, I try to get all the Big 12 coaches in one place, and like sometimes Wikipedia is not really the most reliable for that type of thing. So the best thing I can do is find someone who has like talked about coaching or like ranked them recently, and I can go through and look. Someone has Scott Satterfield as the eighth best head coach in the Big 12, and I was like, what are you smoking, brother? This dude he's not been a good head coach in a long time. Like, I don't he was bad at Louisville. He was sub 500 at Louisville. And like Louisville's not the easiest job in the world, but like there is nothing here that tells me you're going to be successful. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I have him 14th only because Scally and Klein are not ranked. So literally everybody else, like I think higher of Deion Sanders, I think higher of Jimmy Rogers, Eric Morris, and clearly we've worked our way through everybody else in this conference. It's like also I think the fact that everybody like where he leaves, the people after him do better. Jeff Brom's doing better at Louisville than him. Eli Drinkwitz did better in 1 year at App State than him.
It's mind-boggling. He's not a good football coach. He's turned
No,
me against all Satterfields, whether they're related or not.
doesn't matter if they're related. It's Saturday. It's the field, man. You should be able to figure this out. And I'll put in the comments, which guy we think that is going to be a climber out of this. I think that's just a good way to do all this. But this has been a fascinating exercise doing every Power Four league. I think it's just because it raises some alarm bells here. I'm like, I didn't know I was this down on Eric Morris.
100%, man. It makes you think things. Like I didn't think I was gonna like. I probably went into this exercise thinking Dave Aranda was going to be in my bottom five, but the more I thought about it, I was like, he probably just misses.
Yeah, it's unbelievable here, and this is gonna be fun because we are living in a simulation.
Damn right.
Uh, Ralph Russo of The Athletic put out the best piece of content I've seen the entire year. It was so good.
A hell of a lot of work too.
Yes.
As people in the content business, my first thought was, my God, Ralph, this probably took you like a year.
This is the guy who like gathers the AP votes. Like that was his previous job for the Associated Press.
What a guy.
What a guy. Like he's like the biggest college football fan from New Jersey of all time, dude.
Mm,
So
maybe
what
the
he did,
only one, honestly.
yeah, man, it's like he for like I think he's like Rutgers ties, maybe. I don't know. I think he went to Fordham or some nonsense. And then Pete Thamel from UMass to bring it all together, man. I love it, dude.
It's the Northeast contingent.
I mean, Nick Saban played at Kent State. I mean, like the best people in the sport, like didn't they changed the game, dude. So,
100%.
so basically, for those who didn't see this article, it came out on Friday. Ralph Russo's article is "Who will be coaching your school in 2030?" Predicting every Power Four football program's head man. What a title there! But this includes all Power Four schools and Notre Dame. Some of these are just absolutely mind-boggling. They basically kind of go through the same order that we do. Four for four, ACC, Big 12. Nope, that's nope. You did a different order. Damn it. Damn it. So,
He was just vibing, you know?
all right. I guess it's kind of like working way through anything in the ACC that all kind of stand out for you that you want to talk about.
Yeah, I got some questions for Ralph. You mentioned it not too long ago in this very episode. Florida State doesn't have any money. How the hell are they going to hire Kenny Dillingham? Like
Where's where,
I like the fit. I think it would make a lot of sense. But if you can't afford to fire more Mike Norvell, you can't afford to hire Kenny Dillingham.
no, sir. I'm looking at this too. So like the other thing, they've got somebody replacing like Manny Diaz. Where's Manny Diaz going? Manny Diaz is a good coach. Did he like resurface somewhere else? Am I missing this?
Let me see. No, there's only one Manny on this entire page.
I'm trying to see, think if he got like another job here, but like, how is that not the guy that you hire to go back to his alma mater who's had success at two different stops in the Big Ten? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, I don't get it at all.
ACC, it's wild. And then there was this chain that I read about. So Dabo doesn't work anymore.
Correct.
So they hire Rhett Lashley away from SMU, and he's like, yeah, but does he think that's a good enough job? But he does leave, just put him in orange, make him look. He's basically the orange M&M in real in person form.
Right, 100%.
So who replaces Rhett Lashley at SMU? That would be Josh Heupel because it doesn't work. He's got to hit the Scott Satterfield reset.
Okay,
Bring the
okay.
bring the Trans Am to Dallas, man.
That's right. That's right.
Who replaces him in Tennessee? That'd be a new Kentucky sensation, Will Stein. So
Bold.
that's really awkward there for the people there in Kentucky because that's a huge rivalry. They hate each other. And then
100%.
and then replacing Will Stein is going to be the only other guy who interviewed for the Kentucky job, Mike Hartline's older brother, Brian Hartline, who apparently had success at USF. These things are so dumb.
I can get behind some of those. I think
Yeah.
like I can see the logic. I think it falls apart with Will Stein to Tennessee and then Brian Hartline to Kentucky, just because Brian Hartline got a job and I don't think it's gonna go particularly well.
And I think Will Stein like has optics. He can't go to Tennessee. Like he can't
No.
go. He could go to Louisville because he's a Louisville alum, and that's fair. But otherwise, he couldn't do that. Like he can't go to Vanderbilt. Like he
No.
can't go to Tennessee. He can't go to Florida.
No.
Those aren't possibilities, man. You can't do that. No,
That's career suicide. Like that's so bad.
that's career suicide. Tosh Lupoi apparently is going to work because he has him still there. That's great.
As is Tavita Pritchard, which I also noticed was still there.
As is Jeff Brom and Mario Cristobal. That's not shocking to me. Those are going to probably work out here. Um,
The coordinators are at UNC and NC State from Miami.
yeah, Dave Doran is not going to work at North Carolina State. That's where Shannon Dawson goes. Is that a better job than Tulane, definitively?
Definitively no. Potentially yes.
Yeah.
Definitively no.
And
Not
then
at all.
Corey Heatherman replaces Belichick at North Carolina. How would you feel about that?
That's an upgrade. We're upgrade.
That'd be good here. The other one of the ACC that really stands out is they don't think that Brent Key is really that good. I think that this was Buster Faulkner, and I'm like, huh, maybe, but I, I don't know. That's weird.
That's a weird assumption, I think. Like I don't quite get that.
No. All right. Let's see.
Can,
We go
can
down.
we talk about the Oklahoma of it all that happens in this
Yes.
piece? Uh
Yes.
Brent Venables at Oklahoma State because he's replaced by Eli Drinkwitz at Oklahoma.
And
What?
the Mizzou head coach in all this too is Blake Baker, he comes back.
That's the one that makes the sense of these three.
Yeah,
The other two, what? You want to talk about optics? Brent Venables is not going to Oklahoma State, brother.
no, I mean, he's not like an OU grad. He went to Kansas State, so you could do
Right.
that. But Kansas State and Oklahoma hit each other too, so like that's. But I'm like, I don't see that, dude. Like, Drake,
If Oak,
maybe the finances are good. That's the best job he can get.
yeah, I'm like, I don't think Drink makes like the least sense for Oklahoma. It's really the Brent Venables of it all because what I can't wrap my mind around is it's not just like it's not, his ties to Oklahoma or whatever and like how that would make him feel about Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State wouldn't take someone who's getting moved on from Oklahoma because it's got to look like your little brother taking the scraps. Like
Yeah,
Oklahoma State's not doing that.
that one's absolutely wild. And then there's the whole Kalen DeBoer thing. So
Yes.
he's
Where
going to be
did
the head coach. He's going to be the head coach at USC, replacing Lincoln Riley, who I think is at Texas Tech.
Yeah, where does Joey McGuire go? Did McGuire get fired? Yeah, McGuire, they don't give McGuire another job.
No, maybe he just goes to the NFL. Maybe he's the Cowboys coach or something. I
Maybe.
hope not. I don't know. They aged him out. They made him go. Um, that's
No more shaking babies, man.
apparently it works with Barry Odom at Purdue. That's odd. Don't see that.
Oh, but Kalen DeBoer at USC and replaced by at Alabama, John Summerall. Which
Yeah,
to all the Florida fans that want to freak out and say John Summerall is not a good coach, he's the next coach at Alabama. What are you talking about?
and he replaces him at Florida, Florida alum Jed Fish. Okay, and then you go to Washington, who replaces him. That'd be Kalani Sitake.
Let me tell you, if I had to write this piece, do you know how many times I would mess this stuff up? Like I'd go back and I'd have a coach like coaching three programs.
You gotta have like a family tree flow chart to do this. You got, and if you go to BYU, who the hell's the BYU coach? The new BYU coach, that was way up there. Jason Beck, the Michigan offensive coordinator, who basically came over from Utah with Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah.
Apparently, people are really hot on him. Also, Wisconsin. Why were you delaying this? Just hire Jason Eck away from New Mexico to replace.
It was my first thought when I saw it, man. I was like, oh, the hire that should have already happened. Yeah, I get it.
That one's absolutely wild. Sorry, I think if there's anything else on here,
Oh, where does
uh,
Kenny Dillingham went somewhere?
he goes to.
Oh,
Can you
Florida
like
State, and he's replaced. Sorry, it was his replacement that I was thinking of. He goes to Arizona State, and he's replaced by.
Dan Mullen?
That's right. That's what I knew there was something Kenny Dillingham related that I wanted to continue.
And then it doesn't make any sense because then you have Marcus Arroyo replacing Brent Brennan at Arizona, like who's already on staff. Like, what are we doing here? The UNLV Arizona State of it all is just maddening.
Look, Ralph Russo is a legend. I like Ralph Russo. He's doing too much here. We're doing too much. Do less.
Doing too much here. I'm moving down a little bit more. Try to think if there's anybody else on here that deserves. Oh, Ben Arbuckle is going to take over for Rich Rod in West Virginia. That's
Who's the coach in 2024? That's my question.
we'll probably finish on this. Give ourselves a pat on the back, clap our hands, whatever we're doing. Kirk Ferentz is out.
We did it.
With a guy they probably should have hired, LeVar Woods, who's not even on Iowa anymore. He's in Michigan State. He's on a Pat Fitzgerald staff.
Oh, I did want to mention they have Kyle Whittingham closing up shop before 2030.
I mean, he's like 65 though, but like,
I understand that, but like it makes like it again makes me think like why did Michigan hire like I understand why Michigan hired Kyle Whittingham, but why did Michigan hire Kyle Whittingham? You know what I mean?
go blue, I guess.
I mean, look, it's better than the previous option. I'm aware of that. And you needed someone with stability, and I'm aware of that. But like again, he's 65.
It's something you can do, man.
7 years, my favorite college team's head coaches. Like he's 7 years as junior, so whatever.
That's whatever, man. Like Warren Buffett, I think just like retired. He's like 95 or something.
Yep. I wish Bill Belichick would get a little bit earlier start on that.
Got like what Charlie Munger worked until he died. He was like 99 years old. And we got 99 problems, but this ain't one. Let's move on to our penultimate topic here with a question. This is my do host or do host. Let's see if I get this right. Trying to fill out the show. So, okay, I'm gonna read this here because that's on the other screen here. So I pull this up here. Duhas, Cody. Will we be getting, will we be getting back-to-back first-time Heisman winners at our respective school? Because Fernando Mendoza was the first Heisman winner in the history of Indiana football.
Mhm. I'm gonna go do Os two S's. And I think the biggest thing that comes up to me because we'll obviously in this segment talk about the candidates, but like if you're looking at like the leading candidate that would be from the first time school, it'd be Trinidad Chambliss at Ole Miss. And while I think Trinidad Chambliss is going to have a really good season, while I like the player quite a bit, I think that when it comes to this stuff, unless you're a Travis Hunter or something like that's a very, very special case, you're also normally talking about one of the five best teams in the country that the Heisman winner is coming from. I don't think Ole Miss is going to get to that point. I think Ole Miss's lack of team success is going to hurt Chambliss's case. And then after that, it's kind of just a hodgepodge of like guys who would be first time winners. There's one guy that I think we do need to talk about that could be Duhas 1S, but let's hear your answer first.
I'm gonna go Duhas 1S because I think it's possible, and I think it's
Mhm.
the other guy in addition to Trinidad Chambliss at Ole Miss. That'd be a new Texas Tech quarterback, Brandon Sorsby. I think
Yeah.
I think there's a non-zero chance that could happen. I would say beyond that, odds wise, moving on down, really go next would be cousin Demond Williams.
That's right, my boy.
Then Devin Dampier, I think could do it too.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else down here. Quan Lacey's technically on here. That's great.
Honestly,
um,
might be one of the leading candidates here.
um, JKS could do it. Cal.
Yeah, and like with JKS, like I again think it's a team component thing. Like Kyle's not going to be good enough for that.
I mean, could SMU with Kevin Jennings? Or has SMU won one? Maybe they did. I think Doak Walker did win
Let's
in retrospect.
see. Does SMU have a Heisman winner? Yeah, Doak Walker.
And then Austin, I don't think Mizzou does, but Austin Simmons is too far down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets pretty sad. Noah Fafita at 10,000 and CJ Bailey at 10,000. So poor Christopher Mazzina at Clemson. Like that's when we talk about teams who've never had a Heisman winner, like the first two we mentioned are Tennessee and Clemson, and
Yeah.
no shot this year.
Unfortunately, no, man. Mizzou does have Ahmad Hardy, so like potentially that could be like
Mhm.
he's a fantastic running back, but like I think it's going to be a minute before we see a running back win the Heisman, barring something absurd.
Yeah. So really, it's basically Chambliss or Sorsby is probably your two best shots there because you're
Yeah.
like Texas Tech's gonna be a playoff team. Ole Miss will be close,
Hmm.
but we were dubious in them making it in.
Yeah.
It's just kind of rare that like, and then JKS Cal, like the fact Cal's never had one either is shocking.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, especially with like their history of quarterbacks, even if not their history of program success.
And then cousin Demond Williams, that might be a challenge, but
Most hated man who like by his own fan base.
the most hated man in Seattle since trying to think who's Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Trying to think like who's like a or Courtney Love, who else do people in Seattle hate?
I mean,
Howard
probably Bezos at this point.
Bezos, Howard Schultz,
Yeah. Oh man.
um trying to think
The
Cole Beck,
man.
they hate the man. Uh, but ask Bradley Press who he hates. He's like, oh, dude, I really hate him.
The man.
The man. Uh, do they accept Eddie Vedder or do they just tolerate him?
He's there. He's like the stray dog that you feed every once in a while.
Yeah. Can you imagine like Ben Gibbard just having some coffee and you see just like they're at a Starbucks and he's just like swinging from the rafters. And he's like, man, you're like 60. This isn't no damn Chuck E. Cheese.
This isn't good for your hip. Like, honestly.
I will possess your heart. We gotta go to Washington strictly for Jalen, man. This is some of the good stuff.
100%.
That's a fun topic. I think probably you're probably right. It's probably not gonna happen, but like at least
Yeah.
there's a couple of good candidates out there.
No, there is. And I think like I think if there weren't such strong candidates among like the bigger national championship contenders, but I mean like you look at Arch Manning, you look at CJ Carr, you look at Julian Sand and Jeremiah Smith, you look at Gunnar Stockton, like Dante Moore, and you keep going down the list, and it's just man, it's like it's going to be really hard for these guys to carve out a lane for themselves.
And then you have the John Mateers and Sam Levitts of the world too. That's a
Yeah.
challenge as well. Yeah, let's get out of here with some local scouting report,
Let's
man.
do it,
This
baby.
I gotta go with this. Speaking about swinging at jungle gyms, this prompted it. So Friday night, we are dog sitting a greyhound. His name is Ranger. He's got a little bit of a limp. He's an older guy, former race dog. He has
Oh,
two other uh, greyhounds that he lives with. They like to go on road trips, and he doesn't.
okay, okay.
So we're
Not
hanging out.
he's a homebody.
Yeah, he's a homebody, and we're hanging out with him. And over where we're staying is there's a very popular Atlanta-based pizza chain. We'll just leave it at that. You know, talking there's about 7 locations, and there's also like a Spanish restaurant that's tied to most of them. So
Also, not my favorite pizza in the world. Just throwing
that's
that
a
out there.
you know what, that's okay. It is what it is. We go there, we're like, you know what, this is gonna be great. You know, I've worked 6 days in a row. I'm gonna get a pizza, salad, a pitcher. We made the mistake of going at like 6 because it was so many kids.
Mm.
And I know you hate kids in adult environments. Like this is not a Chuck E. Cheese. Like the people who work at this establishment, a lot of times, this is their first job after doing something really bad.
Mostly correct, yes.
Very counterculture. And then you have just the Brads and the Chads of the world there with their kids, trying to get pizza. There's a fountain at this one, and it's they all have fountains here in spring water.
Ooh.
The kids are just not being supervised. They're just parents are just slamming pitchers. The most Tolton energy of a kid I've ever seen in my life. Just we're talking like he was wearing a Lightning McQueen red shirt.
Of course he was.
He had his teddy bear and he was running around with it. And they put away, he had a harmonica. He was blowing a harmonica, running around outside. And then he was taking like the Parmesan cheese and the salt, the pepper, and then just throwing it like all in the and then he was like climbing over the railing to go in the road. And we found out who his dad was. Didn't know who his mom was. She was probably just getting just pounding drinks in there. His dad looked like the lamer version of my cousin Jamie, so he looked like Lamey. Just wasn't doing anything at all. And the Arizona State podcast is not having it. It's like, you do not take my chair. Do not do this. There was also another kid over there named Carlos, apparently, who jumped over the rail and kicked me in the back. And of course, his name was Carlos. His mom has no idea who his dad is, and he has a bike. And she was just like clearly making bad decisions, drinking and being at that stage of her life.
Not at the table, Carlos. Not at the table.
Not at the table, Carlos, but it was bad. And I'm just like, this is a part of the city, man, where like you go do that in like Lawrenceville, go do that in Duluth, go do that in East Cobb. Don't do this like you are like
It is very East Cobb, is what you were describing. That was my first thought when you said
go
it.
do that. I grew up there. Go do this at Johnny's Pizza, man. Go do this at Chuck E. Cheese. Go do this at Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah.
Don't go do this from like a block away from the counterculture center of Atlanta, man.
Yeah. A lot of people going to be unhappy with you bringing your family there.
Oh, and a lot of F's and trucks too. Trying to like park their car, and then somebody apparently like parked in a handicap spot to go get their pizza, and it just blocked everything up, and it was a problem. And just you know, I should have waited. We should have waited just 1 more hour. As we were leaving, this guy who looked like Fernando Mendoza walked in, and he was just like, "I'm not having it."
That's like the Simpsons grandpa meme where he just walks in, puts his hat down, spins around, and walks out.
You're talking about the carbon copy of the most enthusiastic person of all time. He's like, "I don't want to be here."
This is my nightmare.
Yeah, you got kids throwing up, people throwing stuff in the fountain and everything like this. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just preparing for this. Like, someone's gonna drag me there in 5 years, and I'm like, God damn it.
Why are we here? What are we doing?
All right, what do you got?
I only got one thing for today, but it's been populating a lot of my weekend, unfortunately. Softball, slow pitch softball is about to start up, and we're having to form a new men's league team. I don't know if I've told this story on their pod, but our coach slash guy who put the team together the past couple years in the playoffs last year threw his bat and hit our catcher who was filling in for the other team in the leg, made him bleed because he threw his bat so hard, and now he's taking a break is what he says. So we'll leave that to the imagination. Anyway, we're having to form a new softball team. We're trying to figure out a name. Now it's me, the NC State podcast, and then three guys who are, I'm just guesstimating here, I would say 55 to 65 years old. Trying to make decisions with 55 to 65-year-old men is one of the worst experiences I've ever gone through in my entire life. They are not happy with anything. All like the only thing they're going to tell you is what they can bitch about with what your answer is. We suggested first of the first thing that was suggested was the Wendigos, which is a Navajo like skinwalker essentially. And they were like, that's dumb. We're not Navajo. And I'm like, no shit, we're not Navajo. But like, it's a fun name for like being in New Mexico. And like, we're like, I don't know if the skinwalkers are necessarily Navajo either. Probably not. They're probably mythological based on the white man, if we're being completely honest. And like, so they complained about that. Then we tried to move on to some other things. And all they did was complain and complain and complain. And my realization is I don't ever want to argue with 65-year-old men anymore. Like I'm done with it. I can't do it.
I'll just leave it at that. Why don't you let them man the team? It'll be probably something really we're the Jets.
Funny enough, one of the names that they did suggest was the Sharp Jets.
I feel pretty. Oh my God, some West Side Story. I mean, you're in New Mexico, man. You're not anywhere near the Upper West Side, dude.
No, not even close.
Well, bless up with that. And I did see an episode of like what the hell was that show? Ghost Hunters. They're dealing with skinwalkers.
Yeah,
People were not. They're like, yeah, you built our house in ancient lands. This is not working out for you.
yeah. Like it's a good mascot. Come on.
I like that. I'll get the second one here. So nice weather today. First day of March. Walking around Sunday, fun day. A little bit with the Arizona State podcast. She didn't have to work. I didn't have to work until being right here because I always deliver for you guys, the starters. The last place we went to before we came back here, there's like a fun vintage kind of bar that's like on top of like a plant store. It's called Burley's. It's named after Roberto Marx Burley, the former like Burley Marx or whatever. Roberto Burley Marx, that's his name. He's a
Hell yeah.
Brazilian Salvador Dali, if you will.
Nice. Hell yeah.
They always have like fun like cocktails. The really big thing is like it's right over there by New Elm Brewery, if you remember where that
Oh
is.
yeah, I know exactly where that is.
So you get to overlook a little bit of the more developed stuff of
Hmm.
the old Fourth Ward and everything like that. And they have like a really cool like patio thing. That's really the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So you get to drink outside. It's fun and cool, everything like that. The problem is it's like the slowest service of all time. Like it's, they're just there's just two, there's like a bar back who's maybe like taking orders, one person making cocktails, and it's like this operations, they bit off more than they could chew here. Like I'm surprised like they haven't like gone to a different location yet.
No, the lack of efficiency in some restaurants is unbelievable. Our favorite restaurant in New Mexico, if you go on Yelp, I think it has like 3.5 or maybe a little like a little fewer stars. It's not because of the food. I've never had a bad meal there. Every meal I've ever had has been fantastic. It's either going to come out in 15 minutes or 45 minutes, and you don't know which when you go in there. Same with your drinks as well. And like we don't care because most of the time we go there and we're just trying to be social and like hang out and whatever. So like we're having a good time regardless, and we know that the meal at the end is going to be good. But like get it together a little bit.
I gotta describe the bartender.
Okay,
Just
please.
the most quintessential Gen Z looking dude I've ever seen. He's got the broccoli
Of
with
course.
the fade, with the Christ earring, glasses. He just a bunch of stupid tattoos that don't make any sense. Like he's got like a guillotine. I'm like, what the hell is this? This isn't like this doesn't make any sense. He's wearing like a t-shirt with like a sad penguin on it. And just taking his time making these things, just straight busting, no cap. Like basically just the most anything you'd ever see. If John Lennon was making drinks in 2026, that's what that guy would look like.
That's so tough. You know it's going to be bad whenever you see a guy like that.
And the thing is, like, I'm looking at like his eyes and like looking at his complexion. Like, is your hair naturally do this? And like, no chance.
That's teased more than wham, man. Like
I know. It was just like I try to tip 6 or 7%, but in reality, there's like we're just gonna it's like you can do 20, 25, or 30. I'm just like, God damn it.
what do you mean? Why are those the only options?
And I got this drink, it had way too much sugar on it. Like it was just it melted on my hand. The Arizona State podcast is like, you go to the bathroom, like there's one stall here. So we go outside, get some water, just pour it on my hands, and then we walked home.
It's like the Steelers locker room, just one bathroom.
Steelers are they're gonna have a really bad they're gonna have like a really bad decade. It's gonna go back to like 1960 for them, dude. It's gonna be really awful.
Oh, dude, 100%. In case like, I'm dead serious. They, in their entire locker room for 90 plus players and all of their coaches, they have 5 bathroom stalls.
Uh, they may have five bathroom stalls, but this is episode 255 of False Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter at the X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow the show at CFB False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Anywhere there's podcasts, give us a 5-star review. One for each bathroom stall that they have.
That's
That they have
right.
in Pittsburgh. Hold on. Is it 5 stalls or just 5 piss troughs? Because that's what they're about up there.
I think it, like, so this is from the NFLPA survey that like leaked, the results leaked, and it said 5 bathroom stalls. Like, I can't quite like get my mind around it, dude. Like, that is, not only do you have that many people competing for 5-star stalls, we're talking about 300 plus like pound dudes. Do you know what they can do to a toilet?
It's Andre the Giant in there. And I think also the fact that you're a Cowboys fan, I'm a Falcons fan. We have like our own faults. Facilities and like being accommodating to players has never really been an issue for either of our
No,
franchises.
no. Like, the top ranked team in the survey results was the Miami Dolphins, who are awful in terms of like organizationally, like on the field run. Behind closed doors, though, they're killing it.
Yeah, I love it. Winning something, man. Like it's unbelievable. Like the Chiefs, like here's a footstool you can sit on.
It has 3 legs. Learn to balance.
It has 3 legs. Learn to balance. I gotta help me get out of here, man. I don't know what to do. Uh,
We could just go use one of the 5 bathroom stalls.
um, just find peace wherever you can, because this is false start.